Chapter show, as I will call it. Because when they first told me it was called private practice, I said, do you mean a law firm or like a sexy doctor? And they're like, sexy doctor. I was like, that's your marketing PR right there. So, I am not a doctor. And I have no affinity for medicine. So what I felt, past tense I feel, that I could bring to this show is my recent experience-based, expert-level understanding of heartbreak. It's a medical condition. It's the human condition. It's amazing. So, Tiny Wonder presents fun facts about heartbreak and plausible solutions. This is my set list. We'll be making our way through it presently. When someone breaks your heart, and we'll get into my personal details later, sometimes it's fun to drink a lot and make rash decisions. This one's actually based on a friend of mine who did just that. But I didn't learn from it either.
When I've been drinking, all the things I've said without thinking, the kind words that escape my lips without a bit of censorship, and I can be found procrastinating while you resort to masturbating lovely melodies about the way things used to be before me. I find myself alone inside your bed, but I'll still look for you all over town. In alleys and in bookstores, in dumpsters and in dive bars. I can't admit when I've been drinking all the things I've said without thinking, the kind words that escape my lips without a bit of censorship, and I can be found procrastinating when you resort to masturbating lovely melodies about the way things used to be before me. That gets me through the years, that gets me out of here. La 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 da 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 la da 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 da. Fun things that happen when you try to date in a small town.
Tiny Wonder, Tiny.
I don't care how many tourists you pumped into this little, it's like Brooklyn, but it's not West Asheville. You are too goddamn small. Rash decisions, check. stuff. It's how I roll. I'm indecisive. I want you to be louder. Yeah.
Turn it up.
So I printed out this manual in case I fuck shit up. It says, don't fuck up. It's not your manual. I'm using a lot of new things. I'm sorry, because this whole heartbreak thing is new for me. I wrote some songs about it. Again, we'll get into it in the next song. Someone recently kind of to that part of my body. It's fine. It's a small town. I had it coming. Another thing that you could do is watch a lot of science fiction.
Yeah.
Does anyone here watch Doctor Who? That's as sexy doctor as it gets. No, stop, no. I do. This is a song by a Scottish punk rock band called the Dream Boys, and also the Bastards from Hell. And one of them is now the Doctor Who, so... And I listen to the song a lot. We'll see what happens. It's a ukulele! When I play ukulele, it's not cute.
I haven't seen the sunset yet, sliding through another day, looking for another place to stay. In the quiet of the dark hours, slipping and moving past. That's my way. On the big tonight. They don't hear me, they don't see me. Close their eyes. Sleeping in and out of face, looking for another place to stay. In the silence of the dark hours, slipping and moving past. That's my way. All of the people tonight. They don't hear me, they don't see me. Close their eyes. They don't hear me, they don't see me. Close their I ran out of breath there for a second, did you catch it? So I'm going to sit down. I'm going to drink whatever this is. It's pretty good. Quick, technical, fixery thing. That'll work. From later. What's next? Time. But it's a question mark.
So we'll move to poke it with a stick. Sometimes, when you realize that, wow, this could become something, I don't know, I'm sort of getting to know you, you're kind of nice, maybe you're cute, you're just courting disaster. It's all going to end in tears, friends. So here's where we get super honest. I debuted this song yesterday. It involves fancy new technology in which I bend time by playing with myself. Stop it. Stop it. Sexy doctor later. And so I am playing with a whole bunch of me in my living room, making all of this music to play to you. So if everything goes to shit, that's why we have this. The person who curb stomped my heart just a little bit, literally just a little bit, just a mild curb stomp. A friend of mine referred to him as, well, I don't know, sometimes his light is on, and sometimes his light is off. So, heartbreak. Hey, what's your name? Ethan, do me a favor. This didn't work. I want you to know the person who did this last night failed. No pressure. Feel my wrist. Find my pulse. Can you get out on that table? Louder. If that's my pulse, something might be horribly wrong, but I appreciate it. Thank you. The light is on. Perfect. So, this song is all about mild curb stomping, getting ghosted, which we'll get into. Touching a microphone completes a circuit. That's amazing. Okay. Magic, friends.
It's kind of a
So just think about, I don't know, think about your own lives. Can I have darkness? Thanks. Taking my glasses off because I saw the pictures from last night. I'm a goddamn professional.
I've done my level best to keep my head and not give meaning to you, and I'm standing still, backgrounds all constantly receding. You were burdened by the face of God, and all is obscure, yet we keep meeting. At least when this falls apart, my stoic heart will keep beating. Sometimes I feel like I'm courting disaster. Would you notice if I vanished before your eyes? 'Cause I'm left standing here, a fool in a fraud, afraid you'll figure it out. I guess I shouldn't say these types of things out loud. To mend my fences. just lost my mind to your cheap advances. So I closed my eyes and I took my chances on a boy I liked based on stolen glances. Sometimes I'm spinning out for want of a partner. I find myself wondering if your light is on and are you home? 'Cause I'm left standing here a fool and a fraud, afraid you'll figure it out. I guess I shouldn't say these types of things out loud, but this is how it ends before it begins. This is how it ends, this is how it ends before it begins. This is how it ends, this is how it ends before it begins. This is how it ends, this is how it ends before it begins. This is how it ends before it begins.
Thank you. Hold on just a second. We had this thing happen last night where everything stopped working.
It really was.
So I just want to see.
So adorable. You should do it again.
But don't worry, I probably will. You know what? Live dangerously. Cool. Hey, Chris, it stopped working, so I'm going to ask you for tracks later. It's fine, though, because I prepared for this. Now! Space. Time. Sometimes everything goes to shit in your life, and all your well-meaning friends are like, it's fine. You just need time. And you just need space. No, I don't. Shut your mouth. That doesn't fix anything. I'm 3 for 3 with making someone cry with this song, so just... This is not about Doctor Who, this is about my astigmatism. I've come to the conclusion that this won't be getting better. In the midst of your confusion, I offered my surrender. I smiled and lied to you. I have swallowed my pride for you. I fought back the tide for you, but I can feel going under. Space and time. They said that it fixed anything, but look at this. I think they lie. I think they lie. It's the negative spaces, it's the looks on our faces, the pinpointed places. It's what we say when we're not speaking. If I hold you close to know if I can hide my face in your shoulder blades, you never know what I am thinking. Space and time. I could get us through this if you take my hand. Open your eyes. Open your eyes. And maybe I'm no good for
you, but I've done anything that you asked me to. I claw my way through hell for you. I scorched the earth if it helped you through. Baby, I'm no good for you, but I've done anything that you asked me to. I fall upon my sword for you, till I find your way back to you. Space and time. They said that this fix anything, but look at us. I think they lie. I think they lie. Who are you to me? A fixed point on the horizon, your Polaris over open sea. Who are you to me? The halo around the moon, shining face that has laid waste to me. Space and time. I could get us through this if you take my hand. Open your eyes. Open your eyes. Space and time. They said that it fixed anything, but look at us. You know they lied. You know they lied. That's almost two stories.
Stuff she brought for us. That was so nice. Aha! Now the part where I talk about myself. So, I recently returned from a very long trip several months ago. And I came back and I ended up running into this person over and over and over again. And I was like, hey, there's this weird serendipity. Anyway, so I was trying to figure out, are we dating? I don't know. We're sort of hanging out, blah, blah, blah. And then, nothing. It's called getting ghosted. It's when, for those of you who are unfamiliar, it's when you're having a little tete-a-tete with someone, usually conversational and blah, 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 and then all of a sudden, they're gone. And you're left being like, oh, that's funny. So anyways, Monday, hey, you're doing that thing I was at, oh. So, that happened to me months or so ago. It's okay, I write songs, so it's fine. And the person who was most invested in this relationship, blossoming into a relationship, was my darling pen pal in Japan, Manami. And I had to let her down gently. I was like, I'm so sorry, Manami, this did not work. It's not a thing. I don't know if you're familiar. In America, we have a term called ghosting. It's when the da-da-da-da. And she said, oh, first of all, I take everything back. He is dishonorable. And I was like, I know. I've known this person for 10 years in a small town. He's doing a very bad job. And she's like, we do have that in Japan. It's called doron suru. Tell me more. So she's like, oh, well, so I look it up. Doron is a sound effect word that happens in Japan. Sometimes you have words that are sound effect, like me right now, as we established from my pulse, I am doki doki. Doki doki means, but it's the sound your heart makes. It was doki doki, doki doki, doki doki, doki doki. So, doron is similar. Doron is the sound that happens when a ninja or a ghost disappears. You see the landscape and you hear doron. And suru means to do. So it literally means to do. That's amazing, Manami. This is great. More Googling. I speak Japanese. And I find all these people doing this. Manami, what is this? What is this hold your finger gesture that I am seeing everywhere? She's like,
Well, that's just what they do. That's what ninjas do to focus their chi to disappear. Amazing. So I continue to look up, tell me more. Why do they do this? How do you focus the chi? And I find this article that says, we should really talk about the evaporated people of Japan. You're right, Time Magazine, we should. Tell me more. In Japan, sometimes people, usually salarymen, but not always, sometimes whole families, are just overwhelmed, in debt, in trouble of some sort, and they opt out. And yes, sometimes they opt out by suicide, but there's another option where you opt out by doron suru. And there are businesses in place to help you escape your lives and disappear into an invisible city inside of Tokyo that has a name that has been scrubbed from every map since 1960. It's that. And I can read it and you can't. I'm going to Japan in 2 months. I'm fucking going there. So anyway, this is a song I wrote about that. I'm going to try my loop pedal and give it a second chance. And if it doesn't, Chris is going to hit it. I'm going to walk him through it. It says it might work. Fingers crossed. Don't fuck it up. It worked! I guess I'm standing for this.
I never really saw you, but now I can't look away, satellite around you, but my orbit's in decay, and I am getting older and more brittle every day. But when tonight is over, I should go, but you asked me to stay. Presented to me those winter nights, they were so dark, and the light in your eyes kept me from seeing who you are, and I'll keep an eye out for your of the oldest shrine in a city, lost in secrets, cloaked in shame, kept in whispers by those who know its name. You have a tendency to call and run. It's nothing personal, it's just what you have always done. But I've been alone for so long, and I wrote years across your palm, and I stood stark still while he showed it palms into the sky, words drifting away like leaves in a storm. And on paper, in person, you came off so goddamn charming. It was the concept was foreign. Before I found it alarming, you may have the advantage, but I'm still combative, a force to be reckoned with, iconic, dramatic, and I don't know how close to stand to you. In that moment, I don't know what I will do. Fuck it, gonna run, 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 run away. I'll come back soon or I'll come back never, it doesn't matter. I've seen through you. Run, 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 run away. I'll come back soon.
Aww. Hey, sell your merch. Hey, I've got merch that I will give to you because I'm sick of looking at it. I have a CD. You can have it. I have another one that's an EP that I spent a lot of time printing out and folding, and you can buy that one from me for $5. It's cheap. I have one last song. And someone came up to me last night, the mother of one of the performers, she's like, I really liked your show. She didn't talk like that, but she did in my head. I was like, oh, thank you so much. She's like, but I wish you would have just ended on a happy number. And I said, I did. It's in C major. But it's true, it's in C major. And it sounds sad, but it's not. This is Sing About It, my last advice. This is the good one. This is the good advice. This is what gets me through anything. And that is sing-alongs. Now, normally, if you've seen my show before, I used to always end with You Are My Sunshine. But I made it dark. I did that in C minor.
Yeah.
But instead, I wrote this song a year ago for a friend of mine who asked me for some advice. And this is the best advice I've ever given to someone. It will get you through anything. And it's a sing-along. And it's in C major, so it's fucking happy. And I'm going to tell you, but last night, they were slower than you are. The advice is, and this will get you through anything, or you will die. It's true. The advice is, breathe in, breathe out. Repeat. Breathe in and breathe out. Yes, you do it naturally. Now sing about it. You'll figure out your part. This involves some acrobatics. Everything failed last night on this track, and I wasn't able to play Saw. But it's gonna work this time. Instead, I had to read the pep talk that I kept in my Don't Fuck It Up manual, which I might. Also, it's on a loop. It will go on forever until you sing with me. I have all night. I live in Silva.
This moment of darkness, as you step into the light, I'll keep trying to fight my way back to this sight. How'd we end up here, and why can't we stay in the midst of what our hearts and our minds can create? Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Kiss the floor, find your light, and when you leave it behind, call me up, I'll be waiting, tying a party lines. Isn't it funny how time slips away through our fingers, made of paper, to the earth, made of clay? Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. So light so I can see your paper boat sail away from me. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out.
If you sing, I can play saw. Can I have the shy people louder in my monitor? That would be great.
Keep grounded, we love you. Keep grounded, you'll be fine, I know. And I hope that I'll see you around.
Good night, I'm Tiny. Thank you so much. Sideshow is next. Come and talk to me. Talking Japanese.